Hello, this is Mr. Kaz here, and today I want to be showing off a new tool from Google. Okay, it's a Google quiz, and this works directly within Google Forms. It's not an extension or an app or anything like that. It has a function directly within Google Forms. So it's really neat. I'm excited about it, and I'm going to show you some of the things that it has to offer. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to New, and you're going to open up a new Google form. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll just call it Demo. Okay, and as you can see, it's very similar to your Google. This is Google Form. It's nothing different. You can add questions, you can add text, you can add images, you can add videos, you can add page breaks, whatever you need. Okay, you can also see responses of people who have answered. Okay, so to make this into a Google quiz, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top right, up here where that cog is, and you're going to click on it. And you're going to see we have a couple options here: general, presentation, and quizzes. And so we're going to look to do a quiz. Let's click on that. So the first thing you're going to need to do is make it a quiz, and this assigns point values and allows for auto grading. Okay, you have two options here. You can either set it to immediately release the grade after the student submits, or you can set it to release the grade after you have reviewed it. Now, this would be good if you're having some short answers, but if you want them to have that immediate feedback, it's got to be a multiple choice or checkbox style question, and in which case you're going to use this. It's really a matter of what your purpose is. And so, as you can see down here, you have some options as well. You can choose to show students which questions were answered incorrectly after they submit. You can show them the correct answers for each, which is great feedback if it's a formative assessment. And finally, point values for each question. Let's save that, and we're going to go right back to the quiz. Although it's a Google form still, now it is officially a quiz. As you can see, we have an answer key down there. I'm going to show you how to use that in just a moment. So let's create a question. Let's choose kind of a simple one. What color is the sky? And just like any other Google form, we can add options. Blue, and how about yellow? Okay, now this is where the Google quiz comes into play. We're going to go to answer key, and now it's going to prompt you to choose the correct answer or answers. For this case, obviously the sky is blue. We will choose that, and you see how it shows up green here. You can choose how many points it's worth. Let's say it's worth 3 points. Now, even further, other than this, this in itself would be awesome, but the fact that you can give feedback on correct and incorrect answers is what really makes this new functionality of Google Forms stand out. So let's click on that and see what we see. So if a student answers incorrectly, we can choose to put a text in there. Let's say we choose to say, "Nice try, but not correct." Very good. And you can also add information for correct answers. So let's say you can write something like, "Great work." You're going to save, and you're going to see down here, this is what you see on your end, but this is what the students would see. If they get the correct answer, they'll see this will pop up, "Great work." If they get an incorrect answer, it will say, "Nice try, but not correct." Let's move on, because there are some other options as well. So let's start with a new question. Okay, let's think of a question. What is the usual speed limit on the highway? And of course, this is going to differ from where you live. We could say 50, we could say 90, or we could say 65. I know where I am, it's usually 65. So let's go to the answer key now. Let's choose to make this worth 5 points. We're going to choose the correct answer and answer feedback. So the second option for feedback is that you can actually add a link. So you can add text and link as feedback. So let's say that you want to say, for the incorrect answer, "Not correct, but see the link below to find the right answer." You're going to click on here, and now we need a link. So let's say we go to another website. We open up a tab. Speed limit in Maryland. That's where I am. Okay, and we have a website here. Actually, it was 70. So let's copy that, go back to our untitled form, put the link in, and speed limit info. This is going to be the title of the link, and you're going to see that when we add that in a second. See how this says speed limit info, so it won't just show up as the URL, it'll show up as an actual title. We have the corrective feedback here, and now we can save. So for the second question, the feedback for incorrect answers will say not correct, but see the link below to find the right answer, in which case they can click on that and we'll take them to that link where they can get more information. So there's tons of uses for this, okay? You could use it as extension activities. So if you have students that kind of know the content really well, you might add links to YouTube videos or other websites where they can get that they can get an extension activity so they can improve their learning. If you have students that are getting a lot of wrong answers, you might find a more remedial website that will help them. Maybe the reading is in a lower level, maybe it's in simpler terms, but it's a great way to differentiate and to break your class down into sections so they can work on their own level. So there's tons of applications for this, probably a lot that I haven't even thought of yet that we're going to be able to do now with the use of this. Okay, now what does the teacher see on his end or her end? Let's show you. Let's close out of this form. I have a demo quiz that I've created. Now I am a history teacher, so of course, let's go to the questions. Of course, I have a video about the Boston Massacre that I've embedded into the Google form, like you can do with any other kind of Google Forms. You might want to include name for students so you know who's answering. And I have 5 or 6 multiple choice questions here about the video. Obviously, you would have to watch the video to get that information. Now, once they've responded, I can look and I see the average score for students that took this test, the median score, the range of scores, the point distribution in a nice, neat bar graph, frequently missed questions. Anything that goes below 50% will show up here, and it will be a kind of a warning indicator for the teacher to maybe go over that and do some reteaching. You can have the student names here, and then this even breaks it down question by question to show you what percent of students answered each question correctly. You can see this one has a 71% pass rate. This one 57, a little bit lower. Maybe you want to go back and reteach those two. And we have 100%. So this one, you know they have the information. You don't need to do any reteaching. Okay, this is the summary version. You can also look at the individual version, where you'd be able to go student by student and see which questions they've answered. Obviously, this is more in depth. And for something like this, you might want to use for like some testing or some kind of formative or formal testing. But if it's just an informal check for understanding, you might not want to get so in depth. Okay, just like in any other Google Forms, you can choose to create a Google Sheet. Okay, let's take this out of the trash. I deleted it before. And then we can see a spreadsheet version of the student answers. So this might be a great way to find which students need that extra help, and you will pull them aside for some small group, some individual instruction. Okay, so that's all I really have for you on Google Quizzes. It's a really, really helpful function that works within Google Forms. I'm really excited to see all the many directions we can take this in. And good luck to all you teachers out there. And I hope you use this tool and it helps you make your life easier and helps your students learn better. Have a good day.